Well, well. He is merely Deesa's puppet then. 'Tis likely that he knows naught of her schemes. Even were he to be removed, I suspect some other would simply be made to take his place. But if there is aught that compels my attention, 'tis this other man you mention. Phases, was it? He seems a man of import, and yet I have never heard of him. Pray, allow me to investigate this matter further. You've done well, Your Majesty.
Queen Regent Disa appears to be working in concert with this Phases fellow. But what precisely is their aim? That's odd.
All I really want to do, everyone, is just play video games. I don't want to get into anything. I just found the the bear thing to be interesting. It's an interesting conversation. I think it's more interesting than people think.
Shall we get some rest then?
I just found it to be interesting. I don't want to get into anything else other than that. I just want to play video games. I mean, my honest review of Flintlock is it's really not that bad of a game, personally. It's not. If you like
Good morrow, everyone.
can handle the mask
Come,
lady.
we've much to be getting on with.
I hope you
weird
slept
boss
well.
Mechanics and the boss fights. Maybe the boss fights even out later on. Maybe it's not very. Early game, it was pretty good. Mid game, I mean, I was still probably early to mid. It's probably maybe more of a late game bloomer than anything else. Like this game, I like Dragon's Dogma 2, but this is a slog. This game is becoming a slog. So, I mean, the pacing in Flintlock is actually fairly decent. You're always doing something. It's pretty linear.
This
so
might
I
contain
like linear
useful
games.
information. Let's have a look then.
I mean, a game standard, it's without all controversy and all that stuff around it, stigmas around it and all that. It's actually not the worst game ever that I've ever played. It's actually fairly decent in the way of mechanics. I like the main character. Main character's good. The story that it first had was good, but then it kind of I just don't know about the whole dome thing, what's going on with that. So if you guys can figure out what's going on,
Say, have you been to Harm?
play.
'Tis a quaint little village down by the sea. Well, if you do visit, you might want to give the old man who lives there a wide berth.
Well, it was supposed to
I
be
hear
about like a
he sets out to sea
Oh,
on his
sorry.
boat, day after day, only to be returned to shore by the brine again and again. As if that wasn't queer enough, he's apt to talk your ear off about some world he believes lies beyond the sea. I cannot fathom his obsession. I suppose losing his family must have driven him to madness.
I mean, from what the story I saw, like the dome thing was a little strange. I found it was supposed to be about Lady clogging up the death portal or something, and death was supposed to be running out, and there's supposed to be zombies flying all over the place. The zombies are pretty cool. I mean, it's a bunch of different stuff. Like I said, if they didn't have the dog or the mask lady, I'd be totally fine with the game. I would play it in an instant. I'd beat it, but it's not gonna happen for it. They can't base a game around me. It's for everybody, so it's everybody's deciding on how well it does and stuff. Like, but as a gameplay mechanically, it's pretty sound. I mean, I have to say the board game is broken, or parts of the board game are broken. That they made, so you might want to try to fix that up. I find myself one of the most fairest people in playing video games. I'm very fair when it comes to games. It had some bugs. Maybe it just came out, so maybe it'll fix the bugs and everything. And
We meet again.
there's probably more
Truth
bugs
be
than I
told,
did.
I was hoping we might.
You just need to fix the coin game.
Would you care to stay and talk a moment? I'm glad. Sit down, won't you? I'm rather fond of this place. I ne'er imagined a city could be like this. So full of excitement, so alive. And how could I have? In all my life, I've hardly left the palace. My mother is quite strict. You understand. Oft did I long for a taste of normal life. Even aught as simple as going shopping for myself.
Hey, the Kree Regent's son, kidnapping! We
My
need
mother
the
has always procured things I covered for me, so to
admit
pick
to
out
her
an item
treachery.
and obtain it with my own hands held a certain appeal. Of course, in the end, you were the one who made the purchase. That's all right. I know you meant well. Besides, I can safely say it was still a novel experience. I wanted to give you something in return by way of thanks. Here, this is for you. My apologies, friend, but I'd best be going. I mustn't let Mother find out I left the palace. Thank you for indulging me. I do hope we'll see each other anon. Till then, farewell.
But I don't know. Like, it just reminds me of Greedfall a little bit too. It kind of does have Greedfall kind of feel to it. A little bit like it. I mean, the attacking, it's not as punishing as Greedfall was. I haven't beat Greedfall. I should play through it. But I'm not a giant fan of Greedfall either, to be honest with you. Like, the mechanics and stuff in Greed. I'm not a huge fan of gun and sword fights. I like either guns or swords, or maybe a bow. But guns and swords, I know, like, I'm not a huge fan of Bloodborne, but I haven't played through Bloodborne. I have to really play Bloodborne might be too much for me as well. It's just something I gotta deal with. It kind of sucks, but.
Interested in my wares?
What is this? Powerful. Even pawns different nation voices to match. I don't get these. It's just like.
Many thanks.
I'll be right back.
I heard a rumor that this land was once a kingdom of beastrons.
Truly? Indeed. Though 'tis not widely known among the common folk.
Go on, have a look. Interested in my wares? Interested in my wares?
I'm actually kind of looking forward to the Star Wars game coming out. I kind of want to try it. I know a lot of people have been flacking on it, but I want to try it out. I always enjoy Star Wars games, no matter how bad they are. Or good. It could be a good game. I was looking at some of the dynamics of it. I can see a little bit there, like when the fighting might be a little bit too elementary, but it might not be. We'll see how it goes. I gotta put on my regular stuff now. I wonder if if I keep the masquerade stuff on, can I keep going back up there at night?
Go on, have a look.
But I find some games better than... I like Forspoken. Forspoken's actually a good game that I like. But people just don't like Forspoken. No matter what I say about Forspoken, people just hate it. It's just like... I'm like, Forspoken is actually a decent game. You just have to not do some certain things in Forspoken. You can't do any... Don't do any side quests whatsoever. Just do main storyline. I like Anthem too. I'm an Anthem player. I play Anthem. I like Anthem. People are like, well, why the heck do you like Anthem? Well, it's fun. I just have fun with it. You get a jetpack. I think video games are about having fun sometimes. They don't have to like be
Have no
super
fear,
serious.
Master. I'll fare all right without you for a little while.
'Tis not our place to hurry the Arisen.
And people don't have, the games don't have to cater to my tastes. It might be somebody's cup of tea, but it really wasn't mine. I mean, I'm kind of just in for. I'm just in this for the dragon fighting. I really don't. I mean, the story's alright, but it's just like with the questing as is. Like this game, I find be a bit annoying when it comes to questing.
Sure why I patrol it, if I'm honest.
I don't want to look up on quests, but I just don't want to. I remember when questing was hard. It's just my attention span's not what it used to be. I know a lot of people aren't going to like Flintlock for certain reasons, and maybe people will give it good reviews. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't a horrible game. I just don't think it was horrible. It just wasn't really like I just don't like the Dogma. I really didn't like that mask lady. Like that. I don't know, when you guys get to the mask lady, if you guys can stand her, I really don't like that mask lady. Like, if it was just a regular person, I would just, that dog and that mask lady weren't in it, I'd play it. I actually really quite like the game besides those two things. Just those two things, and there's probably other characters in there like that mask lady that I'm just not going to mesh with. if they do want to take the dog out and take the mask lady out, I'll play it. Just give me a mod or something. I can just take those two characters out. Maybe make it like white, like lightning or something. And I just take those two characters out, and I'll play the whole thing. You might like the dog. I mean, you might like the lady with the mask. You might like the dog. It's just, I do not like it. I just really don't like it at all. It's just, you guys might mesh well with it. I just did not mesh well with it. It just, it happens to me with games, and I can't play Diablo for that reason. The characters in the game, it's just too much for me. And some games are just too much for me, like with the masked lady and the dog and the Diablo and Lilith and all that shit. I just don't like Lilith at all as a character. I actually find Diablo 4 to be not the worst game, but just I don't like Lilith. I don't like some of the imagery in that. The imagery is a little bit rough on me, like, so I just have to always be careful that if I've seen like mask ladies freaking me out, that I just gotta step away for a bit. And I might pick it up again eventually. We'll see how it goes. Like, I don't think I'm gonna pick it up again though. That mask lady freaked me out. I rather it's scary. That mask lady is scarier than Calypso Protocol is. But I'm interested. I'm watching. I'm seeing. I don't mind their games. I'll play them. I'll see how that goes. I'm gonna play Star Wars. I'm gonna try Star Wars out. What else? What other games are coming out that? I mean, there was a few ones that people were getting a little angry about. I'll try all the games that people get angry about. Just what's the whole problem. The Star Wars it looks good. I mean, it's because everyone's complaining about like character development and stuff. If you find like if you play with the character for a bit, you'll probably like the character development. It's not really I mean, character development is a bigger factor for people. I usually mesh well with most main characters. I don't think there's a main character that I really don't like. I mean, from what I understand. Can't remember playing games. I just never really had a main character I disliked. I like Frey. I like Freya from Forspoken. A lot of people don't like Frey. I find her to be okay. Like, I really don't like I think it's not Frey that's the problem. It's the thing on the wrist thing. I don't like the wrist thing. Like, the wrist thing is the annoying part to me. I don't think Frey's annoying. It's just the wrist. The wrist is a little annoying. But I'm kind of annoyed, so it doesn't really matter. I gotta look this crud up. We're gonna just blast through this crud. I don't want to take time in here. It's already gonna be a big game, and we gotta get this ball rolling. Maybe I just need to... Oh, crud. I gotta put on the marcher stuff. There's just a lot to this game that they don't talk about. It's a little crazy. Like, I'm not a... Like, even this game is like... I'm not really meshing well with this game. I mean, besides the boss fights and stuff, I mean, if the boss fights weren't here and stuff, I probably might put... I won't put... Maybe I would put this game down. It probably would. Like, if the boss fights weren't as good as they are, and if... Like, it's just the questing is just really rough in this freaking thing. I don't know why they decided to do this type of thing. It's just a giant area, and it's just hard to have this type of questing in like this big open. I don't know how people figure this crud out. Do I have to be in at night?
Really now?
The wise are as discerning in time as we common welcome respite from all that hustle and bustle. I could do with a
Slide down. It's not much of a townspeople.
Back to it.
Sleep.
I'd sooner stay out of the back.
Preparations, King.
Our soldiers need better training.
Sometimes I wonder if I'm high.
Whoever's my replacement can find who cut the arse.
I'm just walking through. I'm gonna walk through here. But it's locked. Do I have to wait? I probably have to wait till 9.
Would that such peace?
If I see that rat again, I'll
Doctor Focus. My head will roll if aught goes awry.
It's just like the Star Wars game. It looks good. Star Wars Outlaws, I think that's what it's called. Is it Outlaws or something else? I'm gonna probably rent it when it comes out. I'll give it a good shot. I don't really do reviews to it at all, so. I mean, Dragon's Dogma 2 right now, I mean, it's like the questing is, I give a 0. Like the questing needs some freaking work. Is it nighttime now? Gosh darn it.
would that all my days were such.
Some of the decorations, I say they
Oh, can't get in there. I can't tell. Gosh darn it. I can't tell. Give me a bench, gosh darn it. There's a lot of things that involve nighttime daytime. I don't know if they should have done all that.
Forget all my troubles here.
All my peers seem so much more fruitful.
This sort of quiet means all's well.
Think you sweet dog.
Word of dust.
Tis well tiring being so learned.
Nary a gentle scratch on
Ah, good, you return. I find myself on edge when you strayed from my line of sight.
nary a gentle scratch on my arms and armor.
Takes a stiff as boards off training.
Sounds far from comfortable. I have no comment.
No compares to a real battle. Not for it, but to cut my teeth in a real battle. Not for it, but to cut my teeth in a real battle.
Someone comes looking for a fight. I won't say no.
Where the heck's the spiral staircase at? Flawless change before my very eyes?
Who's there? Pray, keep your voice low. 'Twouldn't be good for either of us if someone was summoned to come check on me.
Are you that guy? Sven, don't you recognize me?
Could it be that you have come to bring Mother's schemes to light? Aye, Disa is my mother. Pray
I knew
forgive
it.
me for not telling you sooner. 'Twas never my intent to deceive you. I'd simply feared that if I spoke the truth, none would wish to involve themselves with me. But that is no longer a concern. 'Tis clear that we are allied in purpose. My word, you mean to say that you are the true Arisen? That the Sovereign currently residing in the palace is a pretender? Could Mother have had a hand in that as well?
Regent Kin Sven appears to be missing from his chambers. Have you seen him?
Me? No, sir.
Then start searching, you fool. Should aught befall the Regent Kin, 'tis us who'll answer to her grace.
Forgive me. My absence seems to have made this rather more difficult for us. You ought leave the palace at once. This room turned up little of interest, but I've a mind to look into this further. I shall send word to Captain Brandt if I discover aught you should know. I'll head out first and speak with the Sentinels. Use that opportunity to make good your escape.
Through the window? Okay, we can go through the window, but oh, I can't. Oh, gosh.
Forgive me. I couldn't sleep. I thought a stroll might clear my head.
Gotta get out of here. Ah! Going to jail for the 5th time. Wanna go to jail again, guys.
You
Okay.
presume to confound me, do you? My stomach's growling.
I could see myself leaking.
I'm surrounded by winches on all sides.
Accepting that. And I gotta have higher armor. I mean, there's armor and stuff in that game. It's just system wasn't terrible. I mean,
Such quietude is a blessing.
I'm looking forward to Jedi's Outlaws, or I know it's, I can't remember the name right now, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna try to get it when it comes out. I'm not gonna buy it. I can't afford it. I'll just get it on Game Pass. I mean, I could get to it. It just depends.
Welcome to the start. We serve all manner of fine ales here. Shall I pour you a cup?
Captain Grant needs this.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as the true arisen. How fared your mission? Was there aught suspicious to be found in the Queen Regent's office? This scrap. 'Twas part of a letter, and from a tar no less. This alone can prove little, but it is clear that these schemes run deep. To think, Deeza's actions weighed even on the mind of her own son. 'Tis a surprise, but a welcome one. Deeza is the doting mother before the Regent King. If Regent King Sven is willing to aid us by drawing Deeza's focus, we may be able to gain here more useful information. You have done well, Your Majesty. Though I am limited in the aid I am able to offer, I bid you, take this.
What could the Queen Regent be plotting? I'm not sure what we're dealing with here.
Phasers. Now there's a name to remember.
Vader. It's Vader. Lord Vader. Oh no.
Hi! Faring well, I hope. Would you care to join me? I'd not say no to a bit of company. I was hoping you'd say that. Do you know, I had a feeling we'd meet here today. Say, you're not from around here, are you? Are you a traveler? Have you seen many places?
Oh my gracious, what am I wearing?
How I envy you. This city is all I know. I long to learn more of the outside world, but she's always telling me how dangerous it is beyond the palace walls. But after all, if the world truly is so perilous, what are the lives of our people? They must be fraught with uncertainty, subject to harsh conditions. It seems unfair that I alone should be shielded from that reality. But listen to me waffling on. Ah! I almost forgot. I happened upon this little curio the other day. Here, you're welcome to it if you'd like. My apologies, friend, but I'd best be going. I mustn't let Mother find out I left the palace. Thank you for indulging me. I do hope we'll see each other anon. Till then, farewell.
I mean, it's a bit odd, but does have the most points. I mean, can't see. Lights. I don't think the mask is gonna. No, but I have the cap. Oh, you can equip the mask too? The mask not help? Oh, the mask doesn't help. But I still have the mask on. Lightning resistance. To knockback resistance. That's pretty good. I mean, it's just a little bit revealing, but I mean,